Tom Ward Show, where I interview the biggest creators in the world, and I have one of those creators right here, Mr. Alex Warren,
Ah,
founder of the Hype House, YouTuber,
co-founder. We're
TikToker,
co-founder.
all co-founder, all just a huge success, basically.
Well, thank you. That was quite the introduction, Tom.
We talked a little bit yesterday, and I never knew you were a co-founder of Hype House. And
Yeah, I mean, there's a
I was
lot.
there earlier this year. Does that get annoying that you're not it's not more out there?
No, I mean, I don't mind it. I think I genuinely just like being behind the scenes, but also I have, my YouTube channel and a lot of things I need to put more focus on. So even though I was a huge part of helping it like be created, Thomas has done an absolutely insanely good job at getting Hype House to where it is today. And this house would not be where it is without him.
Dude, I was there. It's amazing. I was at the old Hype House back in February of last year, and to see how far all of you guys have come since then is ridiculous. Like, I think Addison, I may be off a little bit, but I think she had around 10 million followers on TikTok. Fast forward to now, and she's hanging out with the Kardashians. She's doing high fashion. How many followers does she have now? 60 million or something crazy?
I don't know, something really, really, really insane. Where the point where I don't, it's just, you can't put that many faces to something. Like, it's crazy.
Did you see with her? Did you see it coming, or was that kind of success?
I don't think anyone saw any of this coming. I don't think anyone saw, TikTok moving up to the way it was. Like, everyone had their assumptions with like, Vine, and if this would be the next Vine or what it would be. And I think that no one was expecting this big of a takeover via TikTok.
How much have you, I mean, all you guys, not just Addison, all you guys have grown a ton. It's wild how quick you can pop off in TikTok. Where Instagram, much harder to get a following and kind of build them, where TikTok, it happens easier. I've found. Like, how much have you grown in the last year?
13 million followers.
Wait, you've grown 13 million, or you have 13 million now?
I've grown about 13 million. I had a million in the beginning of 2020, and now I'm at 14.
Holy shit. That is incredible.
This, like, last year too. Everything's really new.
When did you guys start the Hype House?
We started the Hype House November, I think it was December 9th. Yeah, December 19th, 2019.
So basically a year ago.
Practically, yeah.
A year and a half ago. I mean, a year and a month. But
yeah, our year anniversary was last month.
Wow. I mean, what do you think the reason for the success was? I mean, was it just having the right group of creators? Was it having all of you guys together in one spot, so you can think creatively and do things together?
There's so many variables where I can just throw out and say this is why. I don't think anyone knows why things go so viral on the internet. I mean, you have obviously these spurts of times in social media. Every year there's this one time where everything is boring. There's nothing new. There's no something for someone to get excited about. And I think when Hype House was announced and it was just a bunch of big creators making content together, no one was expecting Addison to be making content with Charlie at the time. No one was expecting, me. Like, I have like at the time I had a very like small but dedicated audience of like 1 million or so people who were just in tune with what I was doing and following my journey of life. And then the fact that I was collabing with these people, it threw everyone off. Though it was also the fact of like, oh my gosh, who is this person? Who is this person? It was so new and so mysterious to the point where people wanted to be invested in it. I also think it's just insane with everything, and the timing has happened. Of course, unfortunately, COVID, and just gave people more of a opportunity to be invested in something and be able to control something else.
Do you think, because you guys are so under the microscope now, not just you guys, but all the big TikTokers, any move they make, if you unfollow somebody, I don't even know how they track this, but if you unfollow somebody on Instagram, TikTok Insiders is on it and they're reporting it. some of your housemates got huge backlash for going to the Bahamas. Actually, you even got some hate, and you were sitting
I,
here.
I woke up. I woke up and found out I was in Bahamas somehow. So that was that.
But has it lost like kind of the innocence a year ago? Is it a lot different now, paparazzi wise and all that stuff, than it was in the beginning?
I don't think social media was ever really innocent. Like, sadly, you do pay attention to the more problematic people just because it is entertaining. It's like reality TV show. You like to watch other people go through some stuff. It's how our brains are wired. But the way everything, I think they're now treating TikTokers more of like people they want. Like when you're saying paparazzi, yeah, crazy. I never thought I would be paparazzi for being a TikToker. And back then, when it first, fuck, are you filming us? Like, it makes zero sense. Like, you're supposed to be filming Justin Bieber, like famous ass people. But it just turns out that social media is such a strong like every social media platform is so strong in a way where it just gets the fans so into their content, but also their lives, that they want to see what they do behind the screens. And Fletcher, Hollywood Fix, all the other paparazzis figured that out and wanted to document it and utilize the amount of views that everyone is getting. Because believe it or not, TikTokers bring so many views.
Oh, and I've seen it. But first of all, can you tell Thomas to calm down in the background? I mean, it sounds like he's building a house. What the fuck is he doing?
I mean, he is pretty much building a house. They're building a couch, like a massive couch.
No, because you can hear a lot of the background noise.
Oh, do you want me to move?
Yeah, if you got a different spot, wherever, we can
Yeah,
just
I'll
cut
move.
this part out. All right, we're back. Alex is relocated to Patrick's room, which smells like shit, apparently. Sorry, Patrick.
I have a puppy with me too.
We got a puppy. It's gonna look good on camera.
Yeah.
So we're just talking about you were in your house and you're getting blasted for being in the Bahamas.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
What do you think of all these TikTokers getting, so much negativity for not taking precautions? Not saying the other guys going to Bahamas didn't take precautions, but
Yeah.
the travel and especially the parties. You see parties with everybody with masks off. It seems like they don't get it yet.
Um, yeah, I mean, I 100% like believe in holding people accountable for their actions. I think that I don't really like commenting on what my friends do as much, but
Yeah, sure.
in general, I've been pretty safe. We get tested every week due to the Netflix show that we're doing, so we tend to be really safe. And yeah, regarding traveling, I have FOMO, so I don't even travel in general. So
What's the Netflix show? Is this something everybody knows?
yeah, we have a reality TV show.
Is it already out yet, or are you filming it?
Oh, no. We're filming, we're doing production right
No shit. Any idea like timetable when that should come out?
now. No idea, or at least I can't say.
No, no. Of course, you fucking know. But okay, fair enough.
But yeah, it's gonna be on Netflix.
Oh, very cool, man. So everybody go check that out. I'm sure they will when it comes out. You
100%.
know,
I'm so stoked.
you
Sorry, I totally
you
forgot I
know
was even doing it.
what's that?
I totally forgot I was even doing it. So we were talking.
No worries. Well, listen, we talked yesterday for a second. I asked you some fan questions, which I posted on TikTok,
Right.
and one of the questions was, "What's the most expensive thing you've bought?" And the
Yes.
answer was your McLaren.
Right.
And I've interviewed influencers for a couple of years now, and kind of have a rough idea what people are making just based on their side. Just, I mean, but just a rough idea. So there's no question you're making a ton of money and can afford a McLaren, but it
Yeah.
seems so off brand. And the comments when I posted on TikTok were like, how can he afford a McLaren? Or I couldn't expect that. Like, I picture you in a Jeep for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No, I love my classic like Jeeps and stuff like that. I think when I was a kid, when I was 6 years old, I had a dream of owning a supercar. I remember my dad was in the hospital, and as a gift, one of my relatives gave me a book with supercars. And my dad goes, "I'll buy that for you one day." And he pointed at a Ferrari Enzo supercar, and I fell massively in love with them after that. And I was obsessed one day I'm gonna own a supercar. And now I do. So it's more of a sentimental thing and not much of like a, oh my God, I'm a freaking car nerd, which I am. I'm obsessed with cars and motorcycles and, customizing them. But it was more of a bucket list thing to say that I was able to accomplish that, opposed to like the whole influencer flex. I have a Lamborghini. Look at me. It was more of a, hey, I've been able to do this, instead of a, hey, look at me, I'm better.
Yeah, like we expect Jake Paul to have a Lambo. Like that's on brand.
I
You know what I
wasn't
mean?
referencing.
I'm just saying, I'm making a reference to Jake,
Right.
but it makes sense. Like that's him. He's kind of flashy. He's in your
Sure.
face. But there's no question you're making a ton of money, right? All the people in the hype house are. But
Yes.
somehow you remain relatable. Where a guy like Jake or these other big guys with their giant houses in Calabasas and all their cars, you, you just bought a beautiful house. But somehow you just seem like the guy that's just the cool guy you want to, have a beer with.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't drink, number one, but two, I
Okay. Or have
I
a soda
know.
with.
Yes, Diet Coke is the main no, I think the reason I'm quote unquote relatable is because I don't buy nice clothes. I shop at Target and Macy's. Um, I don't like I don't a lot of the things that I own, which like and I just think it's really douchey. Pardon my language. Look at the house I bought. Hey, look at the car I bought. Hey, look at this. I just think it's like, especially the fact that we're in a pandemic and a lot of people are going through really hard times. It makes zero sense for me to be like, hey, look at the shit I bought from you guys watching my vlogs. So it's like, for me, I like to keep my hobbies and all that stuff private. And then, you know, people followed me and watch my content for the relatable friendship and group that I'm in, not for the things that I buy.
Sure.
And
You know,
I prefer Macy clothes because they're more comfortable. If I could walk around in sweatpants and a sweatshirt every day, you know damn well I
is this a brand deal in here somewhere? I mean, can you speak to
would.
your manager to make this happen? It's a
Maybe
great advertisement for Target.
it would be. I try to get Target to sponsor me. For how many videos I filmed there with Kouvr, it just never happens.
So I want to talk about how you got the McLaren, right? You
Sure.
basically how you started, and what's wild is people always say compare you to David Dobrik, and you've heard that a fucking million times. And we're not going to
Yeah.
get into that, but
I don't mind. It's
I,
fun.
no, I think one of the big differences, and there's a lot between you and him, is I've heard you share kind of about your childhood, and there's some dark stuff in there, which again makes you more relatable with David. And he's killing it. David is fine whatever he does, but you really don't know what's going on in David's life. You don't
Yeah.
know who he's dating. What's going on with family shit. Like that's separate. You see a certain version of him.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, David. Props to him. The fact that he's a DACA immigrant, and the fact that he's got his whole relatable story of how he's like the American dream, like part of it.
Yep.
It's insane of what he's been able to accomplish in the situation that he is in, and he's made it very prominent of this is who I am and what I fight for. And I think that is the most amazing thing ever. And props to him. And also, I'm just one of those people who I don't mind sharing my personal life with my fucked up history because it shows kids that hey, you have an opportunity to turn the super horrible thing that is happening to you into one of the best decisions of your entire life. Like 2 years ago, people would be like, "Oh, what do you see yourself doing?" I'm like, "I know I'm going to be a YouTuber. Hey, I want to be. I want to do this. I would tell everyone I'm going."
You froze up, Alex. You're frozen.
Oh,
Oh, you
really?
froze up after. Yeah, I want to tell. Then you froze up.
Where did I freeze?
You were saying when 2 years ago you told people you were going to be a YouTuber.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So yeah, 2 years ago, I people would ask me what I want to be when I'm older, and I responded, I know I'm going to be a YouTuber, and it's something that it makes zero sense coming out of my mouth, and it made 100% sense in my head, but it's just I knew it was going to happen because it was that or just not doing anything else. If that makes
Well, yeah, it absolutely does, and I kind of know your story. So I want to go back. You were kicked out of the house at what age?
17.
17.
Yeah.
So you call your friends, you call, hey, I need a place to crash like tonight. And you were couch surfing, right? You went from one guy's house for a couple of days to somebody else's. Is that pretty
Yeah,
much how you were
it was
living?
it was the people I lived with, Patrick, Calvin, Papper, Mia. I didn't. Their parents a lot of the times didn't like me because instead of their kids like working or going to college, they would hang out with me and film. So, I mean, understandably, I'd fucking hate any kid who was doing that with mine. Like, I totally parenting of them, but they wouldn't let me sleep in their house, and so I'd sleep in my friends' cars. And then after I kept filming the vlogs, and I would like spend the night in Patrick's car. Then I would film with him, and for that day, and then the next night I'd spend the night in like Calvin's car, and I'd film with him, and then it would just pile up into a montage of my week of just funny stuff we came up with to film. And then from there, I just started doing well. I got an apartment, moved all my friends in, and then da 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 da. Here we are.
Yeah, but you were back then relying on your friends a lot. I saw some of that Logan interview, which was great. Everybody check
Thank
it out on Paul stuff. That was a great interview. But you were saying that you even relied on your friends for food. It's like, hey, let's get Jack in the Box tonight or wherever you were eating, In and
and
Out, and hey, buy me a burger. I'm hungry.
Yeah, so it was not like that. It
Oh,
was
okay.
not no,
That's how I was picturing
right,
it in my
right.
mind.
No. It was more like I feel really bad when I ask people like, hey, can you like I felt really bad when it was, hey, can I borrow money? Can I get this? Can I get that? But my friends were really understanding and they understood the situation. And thankfully, I figured out that In and Out was for a burger, fries, and a water cup, and then I would fill the water cup with soda, and I would just keep getting refills. So that way, I was able to have a normal sized cup, but just not like pay for it. And also go through the drive-through if you didn't know this, and you ask for a large water, then they'll give you the soda cup, and it's 25 cents, and then you can bring it around the back and bring it in and fill it up with soda. Something that you guys should know.
That is an excellent hack. If you're broke and you want soda, that's amazing. I'm sure a kid watching this was going to try this. Sorry, In and Out.
Have to. It's awesome. Just ask for a large water cup.
So, how were you living at the time? I mean, I understand you were going, but like financially, how did you have money? You're filming, you don't have a
I was,
job.
no, I didn't have money at all. I was negative like 200, 400 something in my bank account.
So, what would you do? I mean, you have to have money to live.
No, I didn't. I mean, I did not need money for the longest time. Thankfully, I had, my friends who would be able to like spot me. So technically, yeah, but I was negative in my bank account for probably 3 months, maybe four.
Wow.
Yeah,
It,
and then I got a job. I finally was able to. So my friend owns a Volvo dealership down in San Diego, and he gave me this salvaged car that we ripped off the registration off one of the cars in the lot and put it on, so I didn't have to get the registration. We found this salvaged Volvo, put them together, did it, and was just driving illegally for probably like 2 months with a completely car that could get impounded by the second. And I finally got that, and by then I was able to get a job with that car, and I started working at a fish restaurant for about 2 months, and then I was doing that and filming. So once I was able to do both of that, I realized I was making more money off YouTube. So I was like, I need to quit this job and fully go after this, because if I don't fully go after this, I will never make it.
yeah, that's so. I think we should say too, your dad passed away when you were young. How old were you at the time? Like 9?
I was 9, yeah.
And your mother, you've mentioned a couple before, has some issues, is an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I was curious, what was that like after your dad passes, kind of be stuck in the house and you got a brother and a sister and her? What was that experience like? Was it tough after he passed away?
I mean, of course.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
very tough.
Well, not
Uh,
not. I should rephrase that. Not, of course, your dad passing away is going to be tough, but the
I know what you
situation.
meant. I
Oh,
know what
okay,
you meant.
good.
Yeah, I mean, I was every alcoholic needs a surrogate, like someone that they need to put everything on so they don't put it on themselves. And I was a perfect target. I was doing dumb shit. Like when I was 16, I was experimenting with weed. Like, and at that time, I was lost trying to a lot of the times in my childhood where I deserved half the shit coming to me. I'm not happy about who I was. Oh, connection unstable. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It said connection unstable. Let me check my Wi-Fi.
You froze up a little bit when you were talking about weed.
Let me put it on my hotspot.
Come on, you guys are TikTokers, man. I mean, you need the fastest Wi-Fi available.
Sadly, we live in the middle of the nowhere, so we have to be
Uh,
we're paying $3,000 a month for 500 gigs next month.
$3 grand a month?
Yeah, because we live out of nowhere, so we have to build our own dedicated server through AT&T.
Holy shit.
Is this better?
Yeah, yeah, you're better now. So go back to I was
Uh,
doing dumb shit. I was
yeah.
experimenting with weed.
I mean, I was experimenting with weed when I was 16. I'm not proud of my past, but I think it's valid for me to talk about it just because it's something where I if I can I say this every day. If I can fucking be a YouTuber and be able to accomplish something that I've wanted to since I was a kid, there's nothing holding whoever's watching this, holding you back from doing exactly that. And I stand by it. I've been through absolute fucking hell. I've done every bad thing, most bad things you could think about. I've had a shit past, and the fact that I'm still able to be where I am today, there's no excuse for anyone to be like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. You can do it, and that's like the preacher coming out of me right now. But it genuinely, like, I can't believe I fucking did this, and at the same time, I can. So it's like going back to the original question, because we kind of went off on a tangent. Living in my situation where I was, the surrogate for my mom, after a while, it kind of like my family members didn't believe that it was happening for a reason. So, like, how do I explain this? When I turned 17, it was kind of I got my act together. I was, I was a good kid. Like, I was very respectful. That's when I started my YouTube stuff and really took it seriously. So I had my eyes really set on something. And, I was still held on that belief that I was a bad kid. And so my mom would take it out on me, take out any frustration, physically or emotionally.
Wow.
And once I left that situation, she started doing it to the other siblings until one by one, they all left. And so I get phone calls from my family members all the time, be like, I'm so sorry. Like, I wish I saw what happened and realized that it wasn't you. But at the same time, it's pretty crazy. Like, I'm not even kidding. If there's cameras in that house filming what really went down, things would be a lot different. But that being said, all the parties are getting help that they need. And what's important is moving forward.
Sure. So I don't know you, but you seem like, and I was talking to Griffin Johnson. I do a podcast
Sure.
with him, and I
Sure.
told him I was texting him. I said I was interviewing today, and he just had great things to say about you. Really, everyone I've talked to has great things to say about you. And you seem like just like the preacher comment you made. You got all excited trying to give advice to aspiring YouTubers. How and why are you so happy? Like, did you go through therapy? I would be
No.
resentful as fuck. I wouldn't want to talk to my mom ever again or help her in any way.
I don't know. I don't know why it all happened this last 2 years. I started living by something called everything happens for a reason. And I know it's the most cliche bullshit you will ever hear in your fucking life. But genuinely, every bad thing that happens to me from 2 years ago to now, every single time, like, I got pulled over and got a ticket. And everyone in the car, like, I got a very fat ticket, like a $500 ticket. And everyone in the car was like, dude, why are you smiling? And I'm like, I could have easily died. I was speeding so fast. And the fact that I got stopped could have just been a sign that, hey, if you had kept going, you would have gotten hit. You would have hit someone. You would have done something stupid. Like, my dad passed away when I was young. That could be a really sad thing. I could have gone down a whole different path of, bad shit. But it's either, I wouldn't be the guy I am here today. I wouldn't have such thick skin. And why the fuck would I not be happy? I have so much to be grateful for. I have this amazing house. I have this amazing job that I have the amazing cars. I have the amazing people in my life, there's no reason for me to get sad or unhappy about something that made me into the person I am here today. And also,
Yeah.
when you think when you mention Griffin and all these people too, it's like I believe in this thing, which I mean, you can ask pretty much anyone. I don't really have beef with anyone, but it's you talk nicely. No, you talk shit to someone's face, and you talk nicely behind their back. For me, like if I ever have a problem with anyone, if I ever like, it's very hard to get me actually upset. Like even people I live with have never seen me actually angry. But if I get really upset, it's for a good reason. But I will always say it to someone's face. And if anyone ever asks me about someone behind, like, if you approach me and you're like, hey, how do you think about this person? It's all good things because you've got to see the good in people. Because if everyone's the same, everyone's got the one thing, then they're not unique. Like every flawed person, you should love. I don't know. I'm going off a tangent, but you should love people for their flaws and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I could talk for hours about this, but maybe I'm fucking crazy. I could be totally fucking crazy.
I think you are. If I grew up in a traumatic childhood like that, I would be a much different person. I think a lot of people would. Just the
Yeah,
fact you have a nice house and nice car doesn't matter. People carry that shit around for the rest of their lives and it affects relationships and everything else. And the fact
maybe
that
I'm just
you came
bottling
out
it
of
up.
it, what's that?
Maybe I'm just bottling it up.
No, I don't know. Yeah, maybe you may snap someday. Who knows? Everybody watch out.
Maybe.
But I think that's incredible. I think it's a great message to kids who are feeling hopeless, your younger fans out there, or who are in situations like this, that you came out of that. You were sleeping on couches at 17. You had to grow up quick. I mean, 17 years old, you
Yeah.
couldn't fuck around anymore.
High school didn't teach me about taxes. What was that bullshit? I had to learn how to apply for a car loan. I had to learn how to, anyone watching this who's like 16 or 17, genuinely, look up on YouTube. This is how I literally did. I got forced into real life world and I had to look up on YouTube how to pay taxes, how to apply for a car loan. What the fuck is a credit card and what is your credit? Like how to apply for an apartment, what you need to do, all that stuff. Look it up now. Be prepared for your life because I promise you, it is amazing the possibilities you can do as an adult. Like you have so much things that you don't really learn about. So just learn about it.
It's true. You said before that, because I did it, anyone could do it, which I don't necessarily agree with 100%, but I heard you say too, that part of your success was because you didn't have a plan B,
Yeah.
which I would agree with. I think that's, gives you that layers of focus. What gave you the confidence to have no plan B that just goes, fuck it, I'm going to become a YouTuber. I'm just going to make it happen.
Um, I remember I was driving in the Volvo, beautiful 1995 Volvo stick shift. I love it. But I miss that car so much. It's impounded somewhere in Carlsbad. But I was driving and Kouvr goes, why don't you have a plan B? Like she was literally asking me, she's like, what if this doesn't work out? And I go, it will. And she goes, how do you know? And I'm like, I literally cannot see myself doing anything else. And this is the only thing that I genuinely love, makes me happy, and I fiend to do it every day. It is like I don't do drugs, I don't do alcohol. My absolute high, like dopamine, is when posting. Like it's insane the amount, like what goes through my head once I have a video go up. It is the best feeling in the entire world, and it's every single time I upload, and I love it so much to the point where I don't need drugs and alcohol. I think I am going crazy, Tom.
I knew
I'm going mentally insane.
it.
But I don't know. I love it. It's crazy. And I vividly remember that I was dropping her off. She worked at a hotel in La Costa, and she was just like, you need a plan B. And I just remember telling her no.
That's incredible to have the confidence at that age, kind of with your history.
Or
Um,
stupid, or very stupid.
well, that's the beauty of being young sometimes is you don't really necessarily always think things through. It's just like, no, I'm going to become a YouTuber. Fuck it. Where, an older you at 40 would go, I should have stayed in college. I should have learned to be an accountant just in case. You know what I mean?
Jesus
So
Christ, that's crazy.
it's crazy. Well, it's amazing. So you're having success. You move out, you get an apartment, you're living in Cali. how did you pull off the hype house thing? I mean, did you have a bunch of money saved, or like that seems like a big step to just living in your apartment and making videos yourself.
No, I was beat ass broke. Holy fuck, no. No, me, I was still like not doing it insanely well. Like obviously I was able to afford a BMW. Like I had an apartment. Like I was doing okay. I was well off. Um, but then I met Thomas a month before because he would go down to San Diego to visit his girlfriend, and we crossed paths because we both film. So we crossed paths, we hung out, and he came down every weekend and visited me on his way down to his girlfriend and on his way up. And he would always just talk about it. He's like, dude, I want to have a house full of friends, kind of like what you have, but I want to like make it a content house. And I was like, dude, do it. Fuck it. Like, let me join. I'll be down. And then he kept talking about it and kept talking about it until one day I got a phone call and he was like, hey, you still want to do that house thing I was talking about? And I go, yeah. He goes, okay, Venmo me $800. And I go, why? Goes, that's rent. You move in tomorrow. So I brought all my friends up, bought out my lease, and then paid Thomas back for the down payment. And boom, we moved into the house. And then they were trying to come up with names, and Thomas is like, oh, Thomas and Chase were like, House of Olympus. Let's name it House of Olympus. And I'm like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Let me take this over. So I brought up all my friends, and I was like, hype house. It makes sense. Hype. The word hype was going around for that time being. It was very popular. Like, oh, you have the hype, Alex Francho. You have the hype, Charlie D'Amelio. Hype, hype, hype. And I was like, fuck it. Let's piss some people off. Hype house. Like, it's like some people didn't know half of us. So if they're like, oh, I don't even know half those people, you were forced to look and find us and know our face. So then all of a sudden you were then knowing us inadvertently.
How did once you moved in, how did your content change from what you were doing before to after you moved in? Did you have to step it up because of everybody doing so well around you, or did you just continue making the content you always made?
Well, I constantly had to step up my content. I think that's just part of the YouTube. You kind of, if you don't step it up, you kind of go down from there. It was the same exact fucking content. It literally did not change. It's always been like this. It's just new people. So like I brought up 4 or 5 of the people that I've originally started filming with, and from there I just added it. Like the way I viewed it is I have my main cast of people, which is Patrick, Calvin, Tapper, and Mia, like people from my hometown, and those main casts, and then you have guest stars until they become so into the vlog that they become main characters. So like for me, like I would have bits or film stuff with these 3 or 4 people, and then people would like be like, hey, like I'm gonna film with you, or I had these great ideas with Charlie, or I had these great ideas with Bryce, etc. And they would come in, and then until they were filmed with a ton of times, and then they become a reoccurring member in the vlog. If that makes sense. It's a weird thing in my head that I have trained where it's like, okay, I need this many things with this person. Okay, I have too much of this person. I'll save it for the next vlog. So like, I have a bunch of content saved for the next one, but it's like I don't want to bundle it up with too many people, and then watch time, blah, blah, algorithm numbers. That's a whole different fucking story that I get into. But regarding people, it's pretty much fuck. I don't know.
It's wild because you look at things different than a normal person like me looks at it, right? You're a vlogger, you're looking and thinking about content all day and all night. And it's funny you mention your friends as characters, but
Yes.
they really are characters. It's just not your friend who you hang out with off camera. It's a different thing when you're filming with them all the time.
Yeah. So with Papper, with everyone in the vlogs, they're the same way they are on camera than they are off camera. The way I reference characters is because most of the time it's very much like, hey, we're filming, and then they're like rapid fire, like their personality. So like in general, when you meet like me in public, I'm usually very, very chill. Like I'm very, very like, hey, what's up? Not like, oh my God, this is time, this is happening. It's rapid speed. It's rapid speed because retention. The average person watches 5 seconds of a clip and gets bored. So if you have something happening fast paced, it's fast paced in real life too when we're filming that shit. It's absolutely fucking fast as fuck to overwhelmed with stupid shit happening that you're kind of just like, holy fuck. But yeah, when you meet like these people in real life, it's more they're the same people, the same funniness. It's just not as quick. So you're kind of like, holy fuck, like this is really chill to hang out with you. And then all of a sudden they get drunk, and it's like, this is what I remember. So it's funny.
How cool is it to have the people who were with you in the beginning and saw you at your lowest to be able to turn around now and buy them in an out burger or buy them whatever the fuck you want? And
I
to
don't
not
know.
only that, but to give them a career too.
Yeah, but I'm still. I feel in my head I'm still in debt to them. I don't know when I won't be. Like in my head, it's weird. One day I feel like I'll just buy them all houses and I'll be fine. But until I don't know, I'm one of those guys who just like I don't like help when I need it, and I don't
Yeah.
accept help when I need it. I do forever.
Makes sense. You like to give presents probably more than you like to receive them.
Yeah, I fucking hate receiving presents. It's the worst thing
Yeah.
ever. I
Yeah.
hate
It
it.
feels much better to give somebody a present
Yeah,
and see
you
them
gotta
light up and excited.
react. I don't know. I'm weird.
Well, shoot. So what are you working on now, man? So you're still vlogging, doing your deal. You're still on TikTok, kind of just growing like
um,
crazy, doing your deal. You've got a Netflix show. What
yeah,
else are you doing? It's tough in quarantine, but are you working on any other
I've
projects?
I've been hosting shows on Awesomeness TV. I really have started picking up hobbies. I started picking up hobbies. Lately I've realized that I film everything to the point where that might be prolonged, like a long time is going to be really bad for my mental health if I'm filming everything. I needed hobbies that I don't film. So lately I've been working on my cars. I've been working on motorcycles. So my whole garage is a whole entire workshop now. So I have
Oh,
about
cool.
10 motorcycles in there. Like half them need work. We're rebuilding a Harley, stunt builds, and just I geek over this shit. It's just so fun. And then working on computers, anything I can build that's broken is insane to me. So like I love working on my own stuff, and I don't know. I don't film it. I just think it's just interesting as fuck for me, and I love it so much. So hobbies is a huge thing of what I've been doing and trying to take care of my mental health, which it sounds so fucking dumb because every YouTuber or social media star says it,
I
but
know.
it's very important. It's super important because you can't keep making content if you don't like it.
Yeah, and it's important to have something for you that it's not for the world. You know,
Right.
it's I'm fixing motorcycles and that's me and my buddies.
Yeah.
No fucking cameras allowed and don't bug me.
Yes. It's exactly. It's the same thing. Like we're building a skate park on the property right now because if you didn't know before I started doing social media, I was sponsored for skating and surfing, and then I tore my ACL. So
Oh,
that's how.
wow.
Yeah. So that and then once I had a torn ACL, it's like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber since I can't fucking do any of my sports anymore. But yeah, so we're gonna have a skate park down here on an acre flat. I'm gonna get skinny again. It's gonna be great. But yeah, I'm trying to have fun and still, and I'm 20, enjoying myself. You know, I don't want to grow up
Are
too
you
quick.
No, do you enjoy it? Do you still film every day?
Every minute, bro. I mean, I'm editing while we're on this. I'm editing my own vlog while I have my camera set up in the other room while they're building a couch, so then I can go over there and see what the fuck's
Bro, you can't. I remember I heard a story about Casey Neistat where he said like he was going to film for it was something insane like 500 days in a row and every day and he's going to become a success after he did that. But eventually you can't keep that up. Like do you can you batch things and film stuff for the next 4 days so then you can chill and kind of relax for a couple of days?
going on. I mean, I can. I just if I do that, I'm not going to stop filming. My issue is that when I'm not filming, feel I feel like I'm not doing anything. I feel unimportant in a way where I like have this empty, unfulfilled is the word. So like for me, if I don't walk into a store with a camera, I'm genuinely I feel naked. Like I feel uncomfortable as crap. So it's like I don't see myself not filming. I don't see myself not filming for a really long time, which is very scary because the fact that I don't see that could be um, a key to burnout. So I'm trying to distract myself. So like I don't film like when I'm obviously working on my hobbies. So like that's like the separation I have in my head.
Do you think that's something to like watch out for? Because that seems scary almost that, hey, I can't, it's almost like you're afraid to be, I'm going to play psychologist, like afraid to
Yeah, yeah.
just to be in the world. I need a camera. I need to hit, and I know this, right? When you post something and you see the views go up and you see positive comments, that is like being high too. Do you feel like
Well, yeah. I
you,
mean, not to self-diagnose, but I think it's just my attempt to control something when I can control my own life. I think that that's the reason I picked up vlogging in the first place. I think that it was something that I could actually control when everything else was spiraling around me. Um, Psychology major.
very nice
uh,
self-diagnosis?
yeah, but no, I mean, I'm fully aware of it, which is even scarier that I keep doing it. But I'll figure it out.
Nice. What advice do you have? Because we're almost out of time. You've got a lot of young creators. I mean, a YouTuber is the number one career aspiration for kids out there, which is funny because that wasn't a thing, when I was a kid, or even shit, 10 years ago, it wasn't even really a career choice. But
Right.
now it's what everybody wants to do. What advice? You had some advice earlier, but what else you got for the kids watching?
Be a kid, genuinely. I think that if you genuinely enjoy what you're doing, and for me, it was being a kid. Like don't be afraid to. As if I'm talking to the kids right now. Don't be, don't be afraid to do whatever you want and film it. Obviously, as long as your parents agree with it. Always listen to your parents too. Seriously, I mean, they're the best ever. But yeah, do what you want, enjoy what you're doing, and film it. And you'll find those people that enjoy what you do, and those are called fans. Those fans will then watch and grow with you. So I think that's the most important thing. I mean, I can give advice for fucking years. Sorry, kids. I can give advice for freaking years. But the best one is if you're not enjoying what you're doing the wrong thing. Does that make sense?
That is good advice. What do you think too? Just one more thing is if you don't have that instant success, because a Charlie and D'Amelio is one in a billion who's
Oh,
strong
100%.
right out of the gate. I mean, that's not going to happen to the person watching this, right? Or me or anyone else. What do how do they stick with it when they go, fuck, I have 10 subscribers. I've had 10 subscribers for the last 3 months. I feel like a loser.
I started a YouTube channel in 2011, and that one was called Alex Man 1332. It's still up, and it's just me making videos. I was 11, and I figured out I could use Adobe After Effects to put a flame on my finger, and I fell in love with editing, and that's how I learned how to edit. So I've been doing this since 2011. It's been freaking what 11 years, 10 years. I don't, math is really frustrating for me right now. 10 years. Like it's not immediate. It was never immediate for me. It's the fact that I knew it wasn't, but I knew it would eventually pay off is the beautiful part. I think that if you truly want it, it doesn't matter if the numbers come. It matters that you're enjoying it. And it's very easier said than done. Like, because I'm in this position where I'm profiting from this. I'm in the position where I'm making money right now. But when I wasn't, I genuinely was like, I just love it. I'm having fun. So as long as you're enjoying it, who gives a shit? Genuinely, who gives a shit if you're getting paid for it yet, or you're seeing that return? Because the return will eventually come. It's just patience, and the algorithm rewards consistency, which is something that you'll find out once you investigate the job that you're applying for. Is you need to understand algorithms, you need to understand post times, average view duration, click through rate, thumbnail, click activity, everything. You have to understand the algorithm. Or, I mean, you don't, and you hire someone to. I just thoroughly love algorithms and numbers, so I was able to understand it.
Yeah, it is funny. I was Griffin again. I was asking him for advice on Instagram. My Instagram game is so weak; it's terrible. I've been to the same amount of followers for like ever, and I want to work on it. And he's like, just post content consistently. You wait too long to post weeks. To post something. He goes, just worry about creating content, and then the followers will come. And I thought that was great advice because you're always looking to check your notifications to see how many followers you get instead of thinking, what's the next post I can do? What's the next video
Right.
I can shoot?
Also, not to mention too, if you're posting consistently so much to the point where it builds a statistic that you're eventually going to get noticed by someone. If you're constantly posting something, then statistically someone will see it. The right person will see it, and that's your big break. So I think that some people get so into the number, the fact is like, oh my God, this isn't paying off. This is hard. But you're forgetting the fact is that if you're constantly posting something, someone is going to see it. And that's what everyone forgets. You just need that one right person.
No, it's true. Alex, I think you said it all, man. What did we touched on the childhood, the struggles, the success, the McLarens, hobbies. I mean, what else we got?
Right?
Kouvr. Just real quick, touch on Kouvr, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
So
Yeah,
people always
my
wanted to.
wonderful girlfriend.
So she's been with you from the beginning, right?
He was sleeping in cars with me, dude.
That is,
She saw me at my worst. She saw me at my best, and she knows me too well.
how long have you been together?
2 years and anniversary in 2 months.
Wait, so you were sleeping in your car 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here. I thought that was like, I forget you're 20. So yeah, you were 18 2 years ago. Holy
yeah. I
shit.
was sleeping in my car from late 17 to early 18.
Wow. So now 3 years. That is an incredible story, man. From your
Yeah.
car to where you're at now is inspiring. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I was able to sleep in some people's bedrooms sometimes, but I didn't have my own place
Wow. What a great story, man. I really appreciate you coming on.
for a while. Of course.
When I was at the Hype House the first time, I felt so bad because I didn't know I was interviewing them, and when I was done with like Thomas and Chase, they just go, "Okay, you got Alex next." I go, "Who the
You
fuck's
didn't know
Alex?"
anything about me.
Yeah.
You literally go, what do you want to talk about? I'm like, what the fuck? You're the interviewer. I was thrown off so bad. I was like, wait, what?
Dude, I felt so shitty because I take this seriously. Like I spend hours and hours
Oh, that's awesome.
researching, doing background on interviews. So I sat down with you. I'm like, what the fuck? This is the only time I've never been prepared. I look like a fucking asshole. Like I don't give a shit about him. Like I gotta make this right.
I didn't mind. I think again, everything happens for a reason. Here we are.
Here we are, man. It's all coming full circle. Well, thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Check out the podcast too. I'm going to do podcast episodes every Thursday in between the big YouTube interviews. So I'm going to do probably 2 big YouTube interviews a month, but in between, I'm going to have smaller interviews with creators and kind of behind the scenes people. So check that out, The Tom Ward Show on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get podcasts. So make sure you check it out. Thank you, Alex, and thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.